Strike Studio presents.
There's new podcast and I stop what you're doing because I'm. See, that was the remix. Take two. All right. Stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but you're making money, see. So gather round. I'm the new fool in town, and my sails laid down by the underground. Everyone, listen up. This is Larry, and he is not a rapper. Just want to get that out of the way. I am very fitted today. That was like if Boys to Men met the Digital Underground, and neither one of us is African American. All right, there you go. Just wanted to get it out of the way. And how you doing? Good to see you. I am back. I am so sorry, but really, I'm not sorry that you had to witness that because we're just having a good time here on Larry's new wrestling podcast and stuff. We are here live in living color. The ring of life is right behind me once again. I'm ready to take it on. I'm ready to fight for my right to party. No. So, folks, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Larry Lawrence. The name's so nice, they name me twice. You are here to experience something you've never experienced before. You're never going to experience something like this ever again. And if you do, tell me about it because I want to see this. My goodness gracious, my name is Larry Lawrence. I have arrived once again for another episode of our favorite episodic episode that we do week after week. I always screw it up. I forget it's day after day. Let's get this right finally. Someday I'm going to get it right. Let me just skip the day after day part. Week after week, year after year. See, it doesn't sound as good. On Larry's new wrestling podcast and stuff. Because we talk about wrestling and we talk about stuff. What's the stuff? Well, it could be any subject. And I promised you on our last show that I was going to show you this. Look, I obtained, if it would stay in frame, a John Cena Word Life pop. Yes, I found it at a store for only $5 make you holla. I'm not going to tell you the store because then you're going to go buy the rest of them. Anyways, I'm not trying to flip them. All I know is that John Cena, that's when he was entertaining folks. When he was the doctor of thugonomics. That's the one I love the most. Maybe you like it. Let's go Cena, Cena sex. Let's go see. I don't like that. I like the word life. And you can suck on these and he drops a bag of nuts. And he did that at Wrestlemania against Elias. I think it was like Wrestlemania 34 before the COVID one, the one in New York City. Yes. And I'll tell you right now, this is what we do. We find stuff like this John Cena pop, or we find the Digital Underground, straight out of Oakland, MC Hammer, Too Short, and I hate to say it, the world champion Oakland Ace. That's all we're going to talk about baseball this year, folks. To me, it's over. Plus, since COVID-19, it's really not been the same anyways. It's been a weird year, folks, of sports. And we're going to definitely talk about that today on our show. Along with, we're going to talk about COVID and the virtual school right now. What my nephew goes through right now is called a virtual school. Now, what that is students, because they can't physically go to school because of the chance that they will catch COVID. And the reason why families, parents in general, were concerned for their children. And of course, why not during this very unpredictable and very difficult time in our world? What I say is this. If you want to keep your kid at home, please do. There's no need to send them to school. I have no children, but I love my nephews and I want them protected from this. So I want them safe and sound. One of them's 5. He started kindergarten. The other one's turning 3 next week. And I'm happy birthday, Julian, buddy. All right. So basically, he's not going to see the show. He really doesn't care. He's 3. Anyway, almost 3. Anyways, the whole point is this. He watches another guy who made $20 million. I'm not quite there yet, but we're not going to mention his name because you know what? No need to watch him. Just watch me. That's all I care about. And please subscribe at Larry Lawrence Podcast. You can like us on Twitter, tweet, TikTok, whatever, and also Instagram. I don't know what that is. It's an Insta, like picture, ping, like a Polaroid. Anyways, who knows about the Polaroids from the 80s? We're going to talk a lot about the 80s today, folks. We're also going to talk about Stranger Things and Netflix and all that good stuff. So let's back to focus. First of all, COVID. And if your children are in school, I hope they're wearing masks, 6 feet apart, social distancing. I hope the teachers are emphasizing that. I don't know. There was a school in, I forget what state, it's my bad, but it was when this thing all debuted back in late August, early September, I think it was Georgia, where they were getting it really bad. And I'll tell you right now that I hope that no matter what you're going through right now, health-wise, I have family that has dealt with cancer and currently dealing with cancer. I pray that we all keep our family and friends and complete strangers healthy. If you know that someone has a compromised immune system, stay away. Keep your social distancing and wear a mask. If you don't have to see someone, do not go see them. That's called FaceTime. You can say hello, buy an iPhone, or get the equivalent of WhatsApp or anything that Google Duo. There's so many ways to see your loved ones. There's so many ways now. Technology gives us the option. That's why we can do the show for you. Day after day, week after week, year after year. And I hope we all stay healthy and happy. And that's the main thing through this thing. So this virtual school is really giving students less of an interaction with students. It's sad. People last year in June didn't go to their proms. They didn't go to their Disneyland grad night thing. I mean, seriously, this has really changed the spectrum. College graduations, they didn't walk. So you know what? COVID has affected the world. People are working from home. They're not going to work physically. No more interacting with your coworkers. So this has really been a very difficult time. Just the essential businesses are staying open. And if you're interested in getting the best Mediterranean fast food, go to Pita Way in Lake Orion, Michigan. He's not a sponsor yet. I just keep telling my buddy, the Mad Bull, who's also a former professional boxer. And remember, folks, in November next month, Iron Mike Tyson against Roy Jones, the battle of the 50-year-olds. I'm ready, folks. And if you ever watch Rocky IV, there's a symbolic message in it. When you see Stallone fall into the snow, it kind of looks like when Jesus falls in his crucifixion. I think Stallone was going with that because if you notice, the wood looks like a cross when he's carrying the cross on his back. Anyways, I notice things all the time. I'm an aspiring filmmaker. I got lots of ideas. Speaking of ideas, that's a nice segue. Let's go into something new. What, you may? Let's go into old, new. What is old but is new? How about Cobra Kai will never die? No mercy, sensei. Folks, it is back. Let me tell you right now, I'm looking at my notes. Yes, I'm cheating. I have notes down here. You're not going to see them. They're down here. So, Cobra Kai debuts. Let's see what it is. I believe January 8th, 2021 on Netflix now. They made their jump from YouTube to Netflix. And season 1 and 2 right now are on Netflix for review, which I just did watch a little bit. And I'll tell you what, we're going to do something for you special today, folks. We're going to do some more singing. Yes. For those of you that want to stop watching right now, that's fine. I'll accept it. You can't get around, or fast forward, even better. That way you can keep up with us, okay? So, folks, if you're on iTunes, feel free to fast forward because it's going to be audio. So you're going to have to deal with my voice. For those of you on YouTube, you're going to visually see something exciting. For those of you on Spotify, or Podbean, also audio. So if you really want the full experience, folks, tune into my YouTube show, and then you'll see this moment right now, which is worthy of cringing. So today I learned that really this song that was in the original Karate Kid, really by a guy named Dave Miranda and Commuter. That's the name of the band. Okay, so Dave Miranda and his band, who you don't see because you just hear him, and then of course you hear the keyboards and all that good stuff. You'll probably recognize the song. It's when Daniel LaRusso and Allie, I forget her damn last name, Allie, Shue, Elizabeth Shue, we know her real name. Anyways, so Daniel and Allie go to the Carts and Farts, or AKA the golf and stuff. I used to call it Carts and Farts in my neighborhood because we had the same thing where it's bumper cars, miniature golf, video games. We had the same thing. Maybe the guys watched the Karate Kid who owned it and said, you know what? This is a hell of an idea. Let's bring it to Fremont and Union City. What the hell? And technically it was on the border between Fremont and Newark. For those of you from the Bay, you understand that that's all screwed up. San Francisco Bay Area, all my peeps, Newark, Fremont, Union City. Yeah, man, you can never figure out where Fremont begins and where Fremont ends. And Newark's just stuck in the middle. And everyone thinks it's Jersey, but it's not, because it's not The Sopranos. It's actually Newark, California. But I would have been on Sopranos. Look at me right here. A priest told me one time during, I think I did a confession. I had to. A priest in LA told me I reminded him of Joe Pesci. What does that mean? I'm a clown? Do I look like a clown? I mean, is that what Father meant? I mean, seriously, Father, what did you mean by I remind you of Joe Pesci? That I'm going to take out people's kneecaps and bury them alive? I'm just saying. I don't know what the priest meant. Like he wanted me to go into crime. You got a face for radio, he should have said. Not, you should go into crime. Anyways, back to focus. Bird, it's okay. Just deal with it. It's okay. It's a great show. You wanted this. It's my producer, by the way. He's co-producer. Anyways. Can we sing the song already? Let's go. You ready? Because we're going to have a 3-hour show. You don't want that. It's editing. Then he needs to work. Anyways, here we go. Try to make it last. Nothing you can do. In a photograph, the innocence you thought you lost is starting back at you. No, staring back. I gotta start all over. Sorry. Did it. Try to make it last. Nothing you can do. In a photograph, the innocence you thought you lost is staring back at you. Whoa, young hearts like be fast, driving down the road, rubber, plastic, metal, glass. See, that's the part that's tripping me out. I just learned, I used to sing this song kind of, sort of. I would sing the young hearts beat fast part, but that part with the rubber, metal, glass, I never really remembered that part. It kind of got lost. Rubber, plastic, metal, glass. What does that have to do with young kids falling in love? Does it mean they want to fall in love with the tire shop or the recycle center? Rubber, plastic, metal, glass? I almost was a glazer. Thank God that didn't happen. Jeez, my buddy Dave, crazy. You wanted me to be lifting glass on metal all day? Go figure. Anyways, we gotta finish the song though. So after the rubber, metal, glass part, why'd you have to go? Young. So basically he's saying, why'd you have to go after rubber, metal, glass? Did you crash the car? Did she die? I mean, I'm trying to understand what happened. I mean, I'm not trying to be negative for anyone's ever passed, because obviously I don't want, it's not like Romeo and Juliet. Is that what we're going for here? Anyways, I need to get Dave Miranda and the Commuters on my show. I mean, I'm sure they're willing to do it. I'm sure they're probably not working right now. They're probably the one-hit wonder. It's okay. Come on my show. We'll make it a two-hit. Anyways, can we move on already? Sure. Why not? What the hell? Anyways, so Cobra Kai Season 3 is coming soon. We left off with Miguel falling from the sky at the school after an extremely cool-ass fight, which is even better than the movie. This show kicks ass, folks. And I have to thank these three individuals who actually, don't worry, I don't know them personally, but I have to thank them for creating this thing so I can go back to the day. My dad actually took me to the Karate Kid. He actually took me to the Karate Kid, and he allowed me to experience this. But we got there late, so I didn't see the part where he left Reseda, so I was a little confused. He came from the East Coast to the West Coast to create a life for himself. I know somebody who did something similar to that. He went from the West to the East, and I wish him well. Anyways, all I can tell you is that he lost 3 hours of time. That's basically what I feel like. He never gets that 3 hours back unless he goes back to Cali. So I wish him well. Anyways, the whole point is this. Is there a point? Yes. Josh Heald, John Hurwitz, and Hayden Schlossberg. John Hurwitz, Josh Heald, and Hayden Schlossberg. I wish they Hayden S. I wish they had an easier name. I know who they are. They work in Hollywood. And they created Cobra Kai, which is a spin-off to the original movie, The Karate Kid from 1984. And folks, for those of you who watch Stranger Things, that's a nice segue. We debut in 1986 on that show. Season 4 is coming out next year. Because of COVID, unfortunately got pushed to April 3rd, 2021, where we debut it in 1986, because we covered 1985 in Season 3 because they were at the movie theater with Back to the Future. So that was one of my favorite moments in Season 3. And the never-ending story. By the way, there was something I needed to talk about, the never-ending story and Valcor. And, the dragon, the luck dragon, Valcor, and the horse. Oh, yeah, we're going to segue that in Wrestlemania. In the beginning of Wrestlemania 6, Vince McMahon does something very unique today, folks. We're going to talk about Wrestlemania 6 and Hulk Hogan against the Ultimate Warrior. So this whole time you didn't know what the wrestling part is, but now you do. You're welcome. So now we're going to continue to focus. Back to Stranger Things. Now, where we left off there is the Russians captured the sheriff. And the reason why they captured sheriff, not Roscoe P. Coltrane, but sheriff of this very interesting Indiana. And I'll tell you right now, in the Midwest, it's weird. And so I guess there's stranger things out there. In California here, we don't have stranger things. We just have strange people. That's it. That's all we got in California. Weird people. Go to Hollyweird. You'll understand. Go to Hollywood Boulevard. Hang out for a day. Since COVID-19 started, I bet you now people social distance in Hollywood, or they get closer to you and creep you out. I'm telling you right now, folks, you have to experience Hollyweird on Sunset Boulevard, Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, Improv, all of them. Probably still shut down. I haven't been there in a minute, but I'll tell you right now, I'm going back there to check it out. Once again, folks, I'll be back in Hollyweird sooner than you think. But I don't need Hollywood. You got me on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. Please subscribe. Please go vegan. See, Bird, I didn't yell that time. Please go vegan. It's healthy. It's plant-based. You can do it. He thinks every time I do a show, I have to say, go vegan. It's funnier. But it is healthy. I use organic protein and green superfoods, and I'm the sexiest I've ever looked. That's just my opinion. Women tend to agree who say I'm handsome. If you're interested in leaving your phone numbers in my YouTube comments, you're welcome to as well. I'll call you. Or just send me a private message. Say, hey, Larry, I want to send you a private message, and we'll get a hold of you. That way I can build more subscribers. I'm not trying to make this a dating service, but technically maybe I am. I'm single and sexy, but nobody cares. Can we move on already from my dating life that doesn't exist? Okay. Stranger Things. It's coming, folks. We don't know what the Russians did with the sheriff. All we know is that we're still trying to figure out what this thing is. This dimension of like the underworld, upside down, whatever you want to call it, man. It's a trip. And these weird creatures that these locusts look at. Oh man, this show's off the hook. Every single one of these kids entertaining. Every single aspect of the show entertaining. It takes you into the 80s. For those of you who grew up in the 80s, you understand. Ghostbusters, 84. Back to the Future, 85. They've touched on a lot of our childhoods. The clothing, the ugly clothing. I mean, seriously, it's like, osh gosh bagosh. But I went to Catholic school, so I wore a uniform every day. So I had to deal with that. We had one free dress day. One! Sister Michaeline, Sister Bernice, all of them. They said, one day, you can dress into regular clothing. I never wore a shirt and tie. My mother never did that much to me. Thank goodness. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Thanks for not making me look like a bigger nerd other than growing my hair like with the curly afro. Whatever. Now my nephew's got it. Whatever. We're not going to talk about it. Anyways, the whole point is this. Is there a point? Yes, there is. How about the third show? The Mandalorian. Star Wars, folks, has done something proper. Seriously, this show is off the hook. I even bought a plush baby Yoda pillow. Yes, it's on my bed. I didn't bring it. We just brought John Cena today. But the next episode, I'm going to bring that pillow. This episode, I brought the Doctor of Thugonomics. Word life. Okay? See? Yes. Without the rings. Word life. That's the John Cena I like. The rapper. The wannabe Eminem. That's the entertaining Cena. I don't like Hollywood Cena. I don't like Dwayne Johnson. I prefer the wrestlers. But you know what? I'll still work with both of you. I'm not a hater. I just prefer your wrestling personas. I know you're not going to watch the show, but hypothetically, you never know. Hi, Mr. Johnson. Hi, Mr. Cena. Hi, Mr. Austin. Hi, Mr. Cornette. Hi, everybody I know personally that are famous. Can we focus on Mandalorian Season 2? This show's off the hook, man. Who is this baby Yoda? Is the Mandalorian going to discover Boba Fett was never swallowed officially down in the deep, dark stomach of the... Oh my goodness. Dude, Return of the Jedi back in 2020? Are you serious? Some of the Sandu beer? You know, I mean, who else is going to be coming back? We saw so much from the original try to be crept into. I mean, the cantina style. Let's bring it back, man. Let's bring it all back. Well, let's bring what we can, because we know it's a different time frame. But we really want to be absorbed in this galaxy far, far away. For those of you at Disneyland, please give me a chance to experience Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, please. Walt Disney World, I'm going to come and see you because I think I can go there. I have tickets on my sisters that I want on the radio, and I need to go to Disneyland. Otherwise, I have to go and pay and go to Florida. Am I venting? Yes, I am. Yes, I just burped. Excuse me. It happens. Don't edit it out, Bert. I burped. Yep. So what? It's natural. Would you rather come out the other way? That's the question. So let's go into sports. Speaking of burping, that's a nice segue. You know, because, you know, in the locker room, you do all kinds of, like, we get that wet towel, boom, whip them in the ass. I played sports. I sucked at every single one of them. So, folks, once again, I reiterate that day after day, week after week, year after year, that I sucked at sports. Why am I looking at the notes? Oh, yeah. I want to find out what sport I'm going to talk about first. Let's talk about baseball. The world champion Oakland A's, they lost to the Cheaters. Moving on. In the news. How about NBA? Lakers, world champions. 23. Won another title. Moving on. As you can see, no longer a Laker fan, still Oakland A's fan. NFL. Niners. We suck. Got whooped by Miami I don't know. I think it was like 43-17. It doesn't matter. Dallas Cowboys came back, ball, and they won. They lost Dak, though, to a gruesome, ugly injury, man. Dak Prescott. We wish you a full recovery, Dak. You're a talent. You're very religious. You look up at the sky to your mom, who is a huge influence to you to get into the NFL and play professional football. I wish you a full, speedy recovery. And if it doesn't work out, we could use a quarterback on the Niners. Andy Dalton, I don't see it happening, but hey, former Bengal, you just maybe need a team. You got Ezekiel Elliott. You got a great defense. I'm telling you right now, the Cowboys have a chance. My brother-in-law, Daniel, I'll tell you right now, he believes in it. The Briscoes, they never respond to my texts because they're haters. But you know what? They believe in it too. See, I gave you acknowledgement on my show. You're welcome. Subscribe, okay, on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. Folks, we need subscribers. We can't do this alone. We need you to click on the button. Subscribe. Bird, do some graphics or something, man. Remind them. Subscribe. I mean, throw it in their face, something, dude. Make a Star Wars thing go up in the... You already done that before for Dave's project. Do it on my show. Subscribe. Dude, subscribe. It's not that hard. Press the button. Tell your friends. Tell strangers. Have you seen this weirdo? It's not that hard. If that other dude made $20 million from educational kids' videos, let's go. We're talking about professional wrestling eventually. Now we're talking about sports. And the Raiders. The Raiders beat the Chiefs. Dude, whoa. Patrick Mahomes. I think you would have won $650 for $100 on that bet. I didn't do it. I don't bet. I invest. Anyways, the whole point. Is there a point? Yes, there is. The NFL is still not doing it for me. Cowboys, Kansas City are the only teams that can have live crowds. Niners are playing there. I don't even know if I want to go. Too pricey of a ticket. And not a full house. Not in front of 80,000. If I was going to go to Cowboy Stadium, AT&T Stadium, I want to have at least 80 to 100,000. That, like they said there was at Wrestlemania. Folks, they said that 101 was there for that Wrestlemania in Texas. Crazy. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to transition into a stadium that had 67,000 people. Folks, let's talk about, we got to talk about, first of all, Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. We have to talk about the current wrestling product. We're going to segue out of the NFL, and now we're going to talk about the current product of the WWE on SmackDown Live. Okay? Friday Night SmackDown on Fox, whatever they call it. Anyways, the whole point is this. It is a show that has Roman Reigns back, who was, I guess, staying home because of COVID, and he was protecting himself because he was a leukemia survivor. And, of course, you don't want to go to work with a compromised immune system. Now that I guess we know more about this disease and social distancing or whatever they're doing to protect him, he's back. And I'll tell you right now, he's the Universal Champion. They gave him the belt fast. They took it off of Braun. They took it off of Bray Wyatt, and they disappeared. Now we're focused on the Samoan Dynasty rivalry. They totally did not build anything. The writers of the WWE are just taking you from one thing to another. Remember when we used to at least transition or give a reason to transition? Like interference? But no, we just all of a sudden start something new? That's the current wrestling, folks. I know COVID screwed up a lot, but please, this is not good. You have to build storylines. You have to find ways to transition into the next story. You can't just jump around and pretend that we didn't remember what happened prior to Roman Reigns' return. Okay? What's the point of us tuning into the Most Hope Opera if we have to forget about a rivalry that existed? And where are these people? Just because we don't have a full stadium, it doesn't mean these wrestlers shouldn't be focused on. I just think they've lost focus. They don't care. I mean, I like Jey Uso. I think he's a great wrestler. His dad, Rikishi, a legend. Also, Roman Reigns' dad, Sika. His uncle, Afa, the Wild Samoans. Paul E. Dangerously. Paul Heyman has known the family forever. Maybe he has a hand in this because he was a part of that era of the late 70s, 80s, and 90s. You know, he started out as a photographer like Jim Cornette, getting photos at Madison Square Garden, and he found his way into the business. Same thing with Mr. Cornette and Mr. Heyman both. They found their way into professional wrestling. And they both did this. Yes, maybe I planned it. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I need to be a manager like Shika-san #1. But now we can do the Iraqi, Turkish, Armenian. You listen to me. I tell you right now, my man, he is from Parsanon. Maybe I'll be Russian. I don't know who the hell I'm going to be this time. We'll figure it out. I need to work on my voice lessons. I need the Rock's acting coach, and I'll be fine. And I'll be a millionaire, according to my business partner. I don't care about money. It's not about the money. Yes, it is about the money. Anyway, it's not about the money. It's about the passion and the love for what we do day after day, week after week, year after year. We love doing this, folks. But let's focus on when wrestling really mattered. WrestleMania 6, the Skydome, where Jose Canseco took a baseball off the top of his head. I know we weren't going to go back to baseball, but this is the same Skydome where the Toronto Blue Jays play. And this is where WrestleMania 6. Now let's take you through this, folks, because I am the wrestling encyclopedia. WrestleMania 1 on closed circuit TV, Madison Square Garden, Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, Roddy Piper versus Roddy Piper, Mr. Wonderful, Cowboy Bob Orton in the corner. That was the main event. Okay. This was WrestleMania 1 in New York City. Liberace. You had so much extravaganza. A risk that Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon Jr., after buying the company from his father, Sr., decided to take wrestling mainstream. And it debuted in 1985. Okay, on closed circuit television at Madison Square Garden. Then let's go to WrestleMania 86. Okay, WrestleMania 2. So they were from 3 locations: New York, Chicago, LA. So this was on closed circuit as well. WrestleMania 3. Okay, closed circuit in front of 93,000 plus at Pontiac Silverdome. Detroit, Michigan, home of the Rusty Cars. And WrestleMania 4. You have Trump Plaza, our current president, President Donald Trump. It was at Trump Plaza, Atlantic City, where the Macho Man Randy Savage, he won the tournament and he became the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. And eventually there's a little bit of jealousy. And then Hulk Hogan, you're not going to get my wife, soon to be. At the time, she was just his woman, not wife. So, because later on by WrestleMania 8, she's the wife. So, but WrestleMania, we're jumping ahead, folks. That's why I'm the Wrestling Encyclopedia. Wrestling Encyclopedia. So, folks, WrestleMania 5, the Mega Powers explode at the same location. The back-to-back years, the only time in WrestleMania history, our WrestleMania had been at the same venue, back-to-back. But then we have WrestleMania 6 and then WrestleMania 18, once again from the Skydome. Okay? This happened twice. That's when Hogan and The Rock had a tremendous ovation at Skydome at WrestleMania. I hope I'm right. I hope it was at a Skydome as well, at WrestleMania 18. I believe so. Or was it 19? Anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about 6 right now. Okay? This is what we're talking about, folks. The Immortal Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. Now, I have to take you through this, folks. This WrestleMania really is my favorite WrestleMania just because of the intro from the 1990 intro, folks. WrestleMania 6. Now, listen to Vince McMahon. He's the narrator for this. And there's these like it's like astrology, and he's talking about like Greek gods, and he says, this is the intro. Here we go. I'm going to do my Vince McMahon voice so you can see how bad it is. Okay, here we go. This has been an interesting show, hasn't it? We've had singing and impersonations. Now, if you don't think I'm talented, you're probably right. So here we go. Upon the examination, the galaxies of space, images begin to appear. And you start seeing these weird images. One looks like a dog or a bear with a big tail, but I think it's kind of weird looking, so I just call it the beaver dog because it just looks weird. Bear, beaver, dog. Just look at it in the beginning. You'll see what I'm talking about. Then we transition to something that looks like a unicorn without horns, or with a horn. You use unicorns and horns. I'm thinking about like demons and dragons or something. Anyways, it's not like Valcor. The horse. Or excuse me. The horses are Artex. Sorry. The never-ending story. The never-ending story. Oh, you see in the Stranger Things, they sing that song. The kids sing the song. It's pretty cool. That's last season. That's why I can't wait for the new season. See what they're going to do with 86. Top Gun. Highway to the danger zone. T-Wolf. I think that was 86 too. I always go in different directions, folks. You just got to keep up with me. Okay, so then basically you see, what else do we see? Well, anyways, these weird images come up. And then I'm just going to focus on scorpion. Like in Arizona where you have to spray every 3 months for scorpions. I lived there temporarily. I'm sorry, I don't like Arizona. You have to spray for scorpions every 3 months where my mother lives in that area. Ugh. Anyways, scorpions can be lethal. I think I got stung by one possibly one time when I was at her house, but I never know. I was on sleep meds. I woke up going, is that a spider? Anyways, they only had one hole, so who knows? But I came away with nothing wrong. Anyways, I'm fine. But where are we going with this? Oh, yeah, we got to continue. Images of powerful... Oh, yeah, I'm just going to say it without the Vince voice because my Vince voice sucks. Images of powerful... Oh, no, that's me with my notes. Anyways, but all the forces of the universe... But of all the forces of the universe... I'm going to get through this, I promise you. But of all the forces of the universe, the two most powerful. Hulk Hogan. And you see the Hogan pose, the one that he's doing. Yeah. You know that one, brother. And then you see the Warrior holding up the belt, which is the Intercontinental title, which was won by Pat Patterson, number one. First ever Intercontinental Champion, Pat Patterson. That Intercontinental title, which is yellow at that Wrestlemania. Weird, huh? He wanted to run around with a banana. And then you got the tiny year World Wrestling Federation title, the wing belt. Oh, my favorite one. I like it, though. I wish they had not made the Intercontinental title bigger, but that's okay. I still think that's the best Intercontinental title ever. And when they change it again, it pissed me off. Every time WWE gets it right, they get it wrong again. So I'm still willing to work there. We can discuss later. Anyways, the whole point is this. Vince really gets you into it. So after he says, Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, the Ultimate Challenge, it's WrestleMania. And then you get you know what I'm saying? That's it. And you're like, yeah. And then there's this guy, you'll watch him, he's in the audience. He looks like a militia guy going. Anyways, he's just happy to be there. He's like, yes, I am here to disguise them. That's how they sound like, folks. I just want to let you know. I'm Iraqi. I can talk a bunch of crap. Oh, yeah, by the way, Bert, I'm Chaldean. I found out from my mom. I'm Iraqi, Turkish, Armenian, Chaldean, and Catholic. That's a religion. But anyways, just want to throw it in there, along with single and sexy, but nobody cares. Back to focus. WrestleMania 6. Robert Goulet sings the Canadian national anthem. There's really no mention of America, and the Canadians go crazy. It's the first WrestleMania outside of the United States. So I think Vince was smart because he focused on Canada. And then we transition into Coco Beware. Bert, 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 Bert. I know that song. I don't know. Anyways, I guess Rick the Model Martel and arrogance. It was the stupidest thing ever. He squirted Jake the Snake in the WrestleMania. They had the blindfold match at number 7. Say, jump ahead! But I'm the wrestling encyclopedia. I know every WrestleMania out there, okay, pretty well. And if I don't, it's called watch the WWE Network, which I subscribe. Anyways, the whole point is this. Is there a point? Yes, there is. This WrestleMania takes us into a very interesting time, the early 90s, where Hulk Hogan is kind of leaving professional wrestling with an interesting scenario because he's not going to be the champ for almost 1 year. And the reason being is because Vince wanted to go a different direction and see if the Warrior could carry the company, since Hogan had been running and gunning with Vince for 85 till 6. I mean, come on now, think about it. That's a long run of 6 years of just being a champ, facing all contenders and overcoming with Hulkamania. This one is going to be very, very different, folks, because Edge and Christian were there, and they talk about it. They were live in the audience. They were just out of high school, I think. And I'll tell you straight up that is a moment they will cherish forever, because I believe Edge was a Hogan guy and Christian was a Warrior guy, and they were both cheering for their own individual favorite. And I'll tell you right now, I've always been a Hulkamaniac, pretty much, brother. But I was also into the Warrior, so I was neutral for this match. I thought both of them fighting each other was crazy. At the Royal Rumble 1990, you see it for the first time, where they kind of come head-to-head in that Royal Rumble. And Tony Schiavone, who's working with Jesse the Body Ventura, and they will eventually work again in WCW. But in 1990, he was hired in the World Wrestling Federation, and Tony Schiavone was doing the commentary for that match. So it doesn't have that Gorilla Monsoon tip to it, which I would have loved to have. So it's a little bit different. But I'll tell you right now, this is a very interesting time because they do this crisscross move, which is really a dumb move, but that's what two bulky guys, I guess, consider wrestling. And they were just showing their strength. Who can knock the other down with their, who's buffer? That was what Hogan and Warrior were, because Vince always liked the big guy. That's why Roman Reigns now has no shirt. And I don't know why they kept him in that stupid gear for so long, but now Roman Reigns is shirtless, and you can see the tattoos and the swole, like Dwayne Johnson, the tattoos, the Samoan symbols. Same with any Samoan really has those symbols on them to represent their Samoan background. It's all in their representation. And they're really cool people in Daly City, where I'm from, the Bay. They represent San Francisco Bay. Okay? So all I can say is this. Hogan and Warrior, we always go in different directions, folks. You got to keep up. Hogan and Warrior give you the ultimate challenge, title for title. Vince says at the beginning, you know, champion versus champion, title for title, it's WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? It just makes you want to watch this. Along with Robert Goulet, I can't say his name, he's Canadian, singing the national anthem, they go nutty. The Hart Foundation has a squash match where they destroy the Bolsheviks, and Steve Allen in the back does some segment comedy nonsense with him where he's supposed to sing the Russian national anthem. Hello, lady. So he comes out and does that, and the Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, boom, take him out within like that. It was a record time, according to Gorilla Monsoon, at that WrestleMania. And Jesse the Body Ventura also talks about this WrestleMania and says, this is bigger than the Super Bowl, bigger than the World Series, bigger than the Rolling Stones. It has built up to number 6, folks. So Vince McMahon has 67, I got the number written down here somewhere, 67,678 roaring fans from all over the world, from the U.S. and Canada, came to visit and watch this extravaganza. And also, so did Mary Tyler Moore. And Sean Mooney interviews her in an impromptu interview, which was horrible. because you could tell she really wasn't into wrestling, but they're trying to make her feel like she was a part of it. You just can't force it out of the celebrity, folks. You can pay them all the money you want to be there, make an appearance, whatever. But if they're not into wrestling, you can tell they're not into wrestling. So, anyways, don't fast forward to that part. That's all I gotta say. And then the main event is the most important part of this WrestleMania. Okay, along with a mixed tag with the Macho King, Randy Savage, against the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, if you will, and Sweet Sapphire, where she will eventually turn on Dusty Rhodes. But we're going too forward again. Once again, see, I know a lot about the World Wrestling Federation. It's because of what the world is watching. Yes, it's what the world is watching, I said. And you're watching Larry's new wrestling podcast and stuff. And I'll tell you, folks, this WrestleMania will go down in the archives of WrestleMania history for being one of the best ever, because the Ultimate Warrior was given the belt, but for some reason, because of his ego, and there's even a DVD called The Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, that everybody rips him. They literally ripped him to pieces. And eventually, he makes his triumphant return right before his tragic passing at WrestleMania, folks, where he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And there's even now an Ultimate Warrior award that they give every year at the Hall of Fame. So a guy who was hated by a lot of wrestlers, Vince loved him. As you can see, to this day, he still wants to acknowledge the Ultimate Warrior, who even called himself the Warrior when he made his triumphant return. He had lost the ultimate part. But I'm telling you, folks, that's why they call it the Warrior Award, not the Ultimate Warrior Award. I think he legally changed it. But the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6 wins the World Wrestling Federation title. And the reason why is because Vince believed that he could carry the company. And in front of 67,000 people plus, Hulk Hogan was defeated straight up 1, 2, 3. And Hogan gets down on his knees. I mean, these Clash of the Titans, the whole match, they really pushed each other. They had a long match, a lot of holds. They kept holds to milk the crowd, comebacks and holds. It's not a very good technical match, but it's a battle of the Titans. It's two warriors, no pun intended, two big, buff, juiced up guys that basically took over Skydome. And they took over. The majority of that audience, guaranteed, was there to see that main event. They wanted Hogan. They wanted Warrior. And there's that cart that brings them down to the ring. Okay? And neither one of those wrestlers used that shopping cart like they did at WrestleMania 3. Okay? I call it a shopping cart. It looks weird. Anyways, the shopping cart with the makeshift ring cart. Okay, it looks like a ring and they're standing in it. Okay, but to me it looks like a shopping cart. It takes them slowly down the ring. Most everybody uses it because it's a long way down from the area where they come out of to the ring. It's a long walk. But Warrior ran. And Hogan does his, I am a real American. He does it with walking to the ring. But it's walking. And he grabs signs, he holds it up, Hulk rules. I mean, seriously, this match is worthy of watching, folks. This match is worthy of a subscription on the WWE Network. And I tell you right now, just seeing Hogan, that straight stand-up in the beginning with the Warrior paint on the chest, and just the Warrior just, and Hogan's staring him down, brother. Dude, this match is one for the ages. Jesse Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon, excellent commentary. Excellent commentary. Not like the quiet of today, except when Samoa Joe screams on Monday Night Raw. That's when you know why Michael Cole was screaming. It was brought to my attention that Michael Cole, by the Jim Cornette show, by the way, that Michael Cole was screaming all throughout the Jey Uso Roman Reigns match. Just scream when it's necessary, not the whole match. Just because they're Samoan, you gotta scream. That's so stereotypical, but whatever. That's the name of the new show with sorry debuts now. We're working on the graphics. So we apologize for the delay of whatever, but it is coming out. What we're talking about? Oh yeah, whatever. You see how that's going to work, folks? I'm going to have a new show that you will tune into because you love this one. So you want more of this, whatever. So, folks, I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's time to go. I think we should wrap it up. It's been fun. As Marty McFly said, it's been educational. We learned a lot today, folks. I learned that I love to sing. I learned that the 80s are great. I learned that Dak Prescott will figure out a way to play next season. It was a gruesome injury. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Oof. You thought wrestling was fake? Nope, it's not. Injuries like that happen in professional wrestling. Don't ever use the F word. It's sports entertainment. It's people knowing the results discussed. But it's not the F word. These people put their lives on the line. They put their families in the back burner to give you, me, the fans, so much. We should learn to appreciate these individuals for their sacrifices, for the loss of life. A lot of them are gone. A lot of the 80s greats are gone. We just lost Road Warrior Animal. We just keep losing the greats, folks. My condolences once again to anyone who's ever lost someone due to COVID recently. Anyone who's lost family members in general. But I'll tell you right now, if you have an attitude of gratitude, you'll see that even the Warrior was able to accomplish becoming the World Wrestling Federation champion. And at the end of that match, Hogan and the Warrior embrace. Hogan looks at that title, and he's like, I can't believe I lost. And he presents the title to the Warrior. And he does that heart thing, and he says, I love you. But we're focused on the fireworks and the Warrior and the glory of the Ultimate Warrior. That's a Vince McMahon thing. So, folks, I'll tell you right now, we are appreciative of your viewership. We are appreciative of you tuning into this show. Day after day, week after week, year after year. Tell everyone, tell a friend. Thank you for being a friend. The Golden Girls, great show. I heard they're going to do a remake. What else are they going to destroy? Can't leave the 80s alone, can you, Hollywood? Even when you got COVID now, you can't just leave it alone and come up with ideas. Hey, how about being creative? Look what I did. I created this. It's a hit in my mind. But anyways, folks, do me a favor. As we leave today, as we go through the trials and tribulations of life, look in the mirror and realize it's simple. Every single day you wake up, go vegan! Anyways, do me a favor. Our lives are whatever we make of it. Just go out there into the world today. This ring of life, no matter what you do, just realize one thing. Our lives are whatever we make of it. Just go out there into the world today and simply make it a great one. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to get through this, folks. Thank you for tuning in to Larry's new wrestling podcast. And you know the rest. Stuff. Take care. We love you all. Subscribe. Bye-bye now.